Greetings, I'm Stephanie Elizabeth Briggs, the creator of Heart Blossom, where I offer soul guidance and inspiration to a global community of healers, artists, and heart-centered visionaries. This is your moon message for the new moon in Virgo, September 17th, 2020, and that is exact at 7 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At this new moon, we have the sun and the moon both stationed at 25 degrees of Virgo. And this new moon point is in a T-square with the North and South nodes in Gemini and Sagittarius. And it's also in a trine with Saturn and Pluto, both retrograde in the late degrees of Capricorn. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of energy here that impacts not just, the next month or so, like most new moons, but actually will have farther reaching implications given the involvement of the nodes and these sort of outer planets that impact the collective environment quite a bit. So this is absolutely an evolutionary point. And when I tuned in with spirit of what they wanted me to share today, they were very clear about this is a time for evolutionary action. So doing what you can to make way for what you want, for what you envision, the future that we're trying to cultivate here. To be prepared for the future that we want, we have to make way for success, even when it seems impossible. Part of what we're called to do at this time is to practice patience with divine timing, that things happen in the timing that they need to happen. And a lot of times that's not what we would want. It doesn't happen as quickly or in such a convenient way that we would like to see. So that's something where we just have an opportunity to practice patience. And I'll just say, this is a struggle for me. Patience is actually one of my major life lessons that I'm learning. I tend to really see what I want and try to go after it, and I don't feel like waiting. So, definitely, I don't mean to make light of this. These are really tough times. We have natural disasters happening. We have state violence. We have uprisings. We have economic and health crises. And it just can seem like everything is falling apart. And on some level, it is. And even if we can't see how this is all going to resolve, how we're going to make it through, it's not all hopeless. With this Mars retrograde, now Mars has gone retrograde as of last week, and it is definitely very potent feeling for me and folks that I've been talking to. There's a lot of, again, feelings of despair, frustration, stuckness, irritability, anger, and even hopelessness. Now, this is because with Mars turned retrograde, turned inward, all of our life force energy that we would channel outward into the world and as we express our will and go after our desires and what we want, this is being turned inward. It's kind of like there's a kink in the hose. And this is really also probably bringing up some really deeply held things with Mars being in a trine with the South Node in Sagittarius, and also moving into a square with Saturn. So both of these aspects, the trine being an open channel of connection and the square being a place of blockage or conflict, there's, again, like all this energy ramping up, but then there's no way to express it. So there can be real sense of a drive to rebel and move through the status quo, the way things are, any limiting worldview or culture or paradigm that we're holding, that we're existing in. And so the more you become aware of this, the more that you're feeling that frustration, the more that you will see it everywhere. You'll see that reflection of what you don't want everywhere that you turn in the real world. Another sign that you're stuck, that it's hopeless, that you should just give up and just stop and you can't have what you want. So if you're feeling that way, I hear you, I get it. I have been in that so much lately. And that's just part of the humanness. Like, there's nothing wrong with whatever you're feeling. It doesn't have to mean something about you. You don't have to be good all the time. This is some really wild stuff that's going on. And given the involvement of the nodes, we can see that the path forward, where we're headed, is toward Gemini, the multiplicity, and away from Sagittarius, which is the one true way. So this is a reminder that there's actually like a lot of different possibilities. There isn't just this one thing that we might see that we're heading straight for when it comes to our individual journeys. And the difficult things that are being unearthed right now, there's a lot of energy there, and you can choose to channel that energy and apply it in service of your community, your vision, what you care about. Spirit said to me that inspired action makes way for miracles. I know that sounds probably really naive and light and irrelevant in these times. But it's just important to not get so weighed down that we lose connection to possibility. Are you using your time and your energy and your resources and what you have? Are you using that to serve what you envision and what you want and what matters to you? Or are you just feeding it back into the beliefs that you already have to validate your belief that it's hopeless, that you should give up whatever, that you can't have what you want? It's not that the pain and the suffering and the obstacles and things that you see are not real. It's just that they're not the only possibility. And you can influence that possibility for your own life through the choices that you make and how you show up, how you cultivate an energy in your life. My advice is, especially with the influence of Virgo, just to take it day by day, moment by moment. Because when we get into our heads and we're trying to project out what's going to happen, especially in these chaotic times where things are breaking down and new things are being germinated, our mind, our logic, our intellect cannot possibly get the full picture of what's going to happen and what's possible. So it's really wise and a way to make the most of your energy and not waste it with worrying. Is there any way that you can just also leave space for possibility that you can't foresee? Also, at this time, it's just really important with all the stress that's happening to tend to your body, to your basic needs, and also remember that your body is an instrument for divine expression, to receive your guidance and your insights. And the best way to nurture that and to make way for that is through a daily practice, through those daily rituals, the domain of Virgo, that create space for you to connect with that guidance, to invite it in, to build relationship with your people who are in spirit, your guides, your healed ancestors, your guardians, all the other than human friends that you have, whether you know them now or whether you're still discovering. The more that you show up and spend time with them, the better you will get to know them, the more you will have a foundation of trust that really feels supportive and strong for you. With Mercury square Jupiter right now, it's important again to be in that dialogue, to be in exchange of ideas, to give voice to your ideals and your vision of the beauty that you see, the beauty that you know and you want in this world. Talk about it with your people, have a conversation, and be open to learning and being inspired with new ways of doing things, new ways of tending to what you love and making way for miracles. So I'm going to keep this short for today. And I just want to offer you an invitation to join me. I am hosting a special free circle this weekend to celebrate the fall equinox. The equinox is happening next week, but we will be gathering this Sunday, September 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It'll be 10 a.m. on the West Coast Pacific Time and 6 p.m. In the UK. And you can join me. We'll be gathering in a circle, a live circle on Zoom to celebrate the equinox. I'll be opening sacred space and leading us in a guided meditation practice together so that we can each seek our own personal guidance and encouragement for this moment and the coming season as we move toward winter. And then we'll have space to also share and integrate our experiences together. And so I just want this to be really supportive and nourishing to folks. And I really enjoy leading these. So I hope you'll join me. Again, it's free. It's open to anyone, all genders, folks anywhere. I would love to have you with us. And a replay will also be available if you can't make the live call. So if you want to join for that, you can go to my website at heartblossom.life and you'll see it there on the homepage. So once again, I just want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you're staying well and resilient and as nourished as possible in these times. And I just want to wish you all the best on your journey. Take care.